Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to check the HGLRC RaceWhoop30, a bigger version of the Racewhoop25 which I have previously reviewed. The Racewhoop30 got a recent update in the form of molded plastic ducts, which are a big improvement over the 3D printed ones that were used in the previous version, and today in this video I'm going to quickly go over its features and specs, give you my feedback after testing it out, and show you some flight footage. First of all, in terms of packaging, inside the box along with the quadcopter, you can find two high-quality HGLRC branded battery velcro straps, some stickers, the user manual of the Zeus F722 flight controller, a total of two sets of Gemfan ducted 76mm 5-bladed propellers, plenty of spare screws and nuts, a 3D printed TPU part along with a screw and a nut that will enable you to mount an action camera on top of the quadcopter, and another 3D printed TPU part, which you can use instead, that will enable you to easily flip over the quadcopter in case of a crash using turtle mode. As for the quadcopter itself, it is available with multiple radio receiver options, and you can choose between analog and digital versions and 4S and 6S variants, which differ in the kV rating of the 2105.5 motors. The digital version is bundled with the Caddx Nebula Polar digital transmission system and the HGLRC Zeus 35 Pro all-in-one flight controller, and the analog version, which is the one I have, is bundled with the Caddx Ratel 2 micro-sized FPV camera, the Zeus F728 20x20mm stack, and the Zeus Nano VTX. In terms of features and specs, the Racewhoop30 features the HGLRC Aelus 2105.5 motors. In my experience, these motors are pretty powerful for their size, and they provide a hybrid solution for better securing the propeller by using an M2 motor nut and these two parts. On the center of the frame, you can find the HGLRC Zeus F728 20x20mm stack, which is based on an F7 flight controller and a 28A BLLES 4-in-1 ESC. Since the micro USB connector of the flight controller is blocked by the frame, a USB Type-C extension board is pre-connected to it, and it provides you with a very convenient way for accessing it. In addition, since this is the analog version, on the front of the frame, well protected by these two carbon fiber parts, you can find the Caddx Ratel 2 micro-sized FPV camera. The Zeus Nano VTX is mounted on top of the stack, and it is connected to the HGLRC hammer antenna, which is well protected by this 3D printed TPU part, which accommodates the buzzer and also the radio receiver antennas. An action camera is secured on top of the quadcopter using this provided 3D printed TPU mount, which is secured to the frame using two smaller hex screws and a bigger one that goes all the way down through the frame. And the highlight of the frame is of course these very impressive molded plastic ducts, which in comparison to the previous 3D printed ones are supposed to be more durable and, as far as I know, lighter, and these are interchangeable guards, so unlike the Racewhoop25, which in case one of them breaks, the frame needs to be replaced entirely, in this one you can just purchase extra ducts and replace them individually. In terms of weight, without a battery, the Racewhoop30 weighs 305.7 grams, including a 4S 1300 mAh Lipo battery, which is, in my opinion, the recommended one for this setup. The total weight is about 467 grams. Including a 4S 1500 mAh Lipo battery, it weighs 488 grams, and the total weight, including a 4S 1100 mAh LHV battery, is about 396 grams. In addition, the Racewhoop30 is fully capable of carrying a full-sized action camera like the GoPro Hero 8, and the total weight including it is 429 grams. The next thing that I've done is to head outdoors and test the Racewhoop30. Overall, after testing it out, I can tell you that I'm quite impressed with this platform, which, in case you're not aware of it, was designed by Brazilian and is a result of a collaboration between him and HGLRC, and in my opinion, it is much better than a traditional Cinewhoop setup, mainly because its acrobatic capabilities are much better. In terms of flight time, when pushing the throttle, you can expect about 5 minutes using a 1300 mAh Forest Lipo battery, which, as I mentioned earlier, in my opinion is the recommended one for this setup, as bigger ones are going to be too heavy and smaller ones are not going to be able to handle these powerful motors. In case you are just going to cruise around, the flight time is going to be of course extended, and I can estimate that it's going to be closer to 7 or 8 minutes, and when carrying a full-sized action camera in conjunction with this battery, I got about 4 minutes of flight time when cruising around, which is not bad at all. In comparison to the Racewhoop 25, the Racewhoop 30 is of course a much more powerful platform, and while the 25 is capable of carrying a full-sized action camera, the 30 is going to be much better for this task. In addition, on the 30 the camera angle is adjustable, whereas on the 25 it is fixed, and in terms of durability, the 30 is going to be more durable thanks to these massive molded plastic ducts, which again, unlike the 25, can be replaced individually. So overall, in my opinion, in case you're looking for an indoors basher or a very powerful cinewhoop that will enable you to capture HD footage both indoors and outdoors using an action camera in a relatively safe manner, you should check out the HGLRC RaceWhoop30. Just keep in mind that in terms of performance, it is not as good as a 5-incher, and similarly to a traditional cinewhoop, it is quite loud. Anyway, now I'm going to wrap up this quick review with some flight footage, so I hope you will enjoy the rest of this video, and of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. I wish you all happy flying, and see you soon on my next videos. Goodbye.